All right, welcome back to the Elias Macco Show. Let's do a mental exercise here. I want you to send me a text message, as long as you're not driving, by the way. But if you're at home or at the office or at your home office and you have the time to send me a text here, send me a text. Here's what I'm asking you, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, okay? 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. How would you rate? And be honest. Let's be honest here, right? It's a tough job. It's not easy. How would you rate how the city of Montreal does at removing snow clearing, right, after we get hit by a snowstorm? So think about everything, the streets, the sidewalks, put it all together. 1 to 10. Text me one number. All I need is one number from you, from 1 to 10. Let me know what rating you would give the city of Montreal on snow clearing. Léger did that with Montrealers. Just recently, they came out with the results of a poll. They asked Montrealers how the city of Montreal is doing on snow clearing. And ladies and gentlemen, if you will trust what Léger has to say about François Legault and his falling poll numbers, trust them on this one as well. Léger saying that Montrealers give the city of Montreal a 6.6 on 10 when it comes to snow removal. But we do have some questions about how priorities are made and adjusted, particularly after one Montreal Paralympian called out the city for abysmal sidewalk snow clearing in her neighborhood. Paralympic bocce athlete Allison Levine near her NDG home says it's been 3 days and the sidewalk in front of her home, still not cleared properly. Let's go to the city of Montreal with more on this one. Émilie Thuillier joins us, mayor of Ahuntsic, Cartierville, and executive committee member. Émilie, welcome to the program.
Hi.
Madame la mairesse, I should say. You're the mayor of Ahuntsic, Cartierville. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, first things first. The complaints that I see that I would say are the most valid are those with reduced mobility, seniors, people with disabilities, and they're looking at sidewalks where the job just isn't well done. And then they're also looking at a beautifully cleared bike path and they're saying, what's going on? What's going on? That's my first question.
Yeah. Well, we have two really different operations, and you said it, but it's important to tell that first there is the clearance of the snow.
Yeah.
And after we have the snow removal. And when we begin the snow removal, and for this week we began the snow removal on Tuesday morning. Since we begin the snow removal, there is no more clearance of the snow. Mm-hmm. It's really important to understand. So the clearance of the snow, we do it when the tempête,
when the snowstorm comes. Snowstorm.
The snowstorm. Thank you. The snowstorm begins, and we do it until we clear the most the better that we can do, and we can do. There is so much sectors, and we have private person that do it. We have also public employees that do the clearance. It depends of the sector of Montreal and the borough. And then we do the clearance, the better we can do. But we also ask, for example, people that clear their driveway or their car, don't put the snow in a path that had been cleared by the employees, because we see that a lot. And for the bike path, it's another team. So we have teams in all sectors. And for my borough, it's a little bit different perhaps for some boroughs, but in my borough, we have one team that is dedicated for our 42 kilometers of bicycle path. So it's different teams.
Well, let me tell you something. That team is clearly getting the priority access and doing the job. Let me go down this, okay? Because what Léger did, not only did they get the overall score, which was 6.6, which means the majority of Montrealers are satisfied, but they went down different types of snow removal. Top of the list, by the way, was metro access. So you know how they clear the snow around metro stations? That's where Montrealers gave basically almost an 8 on 10 for metro access. Bus access got a 7. That was in second place. And it was bike paths in third. And then I go down the list. The worst position for the city here, where Montrealers would rank you the lowest, just above 6, which isn't that bad, I guess, was the sidewalks. So do you think that maybe there should be a readjustment? Because I would think sidewalks, because we're all using sidewalks, should be at the top of the list, not at the bottom.
They are on the top of the list in each of the sectors. And after, I saw first there is the clearance. After, there is the snow removal. The snow removal, we have 3 priorities. So the first priority, and that's why we talk about metro, for example. And when we talk about snow removal, we remove the snow of everything at the same time. So the sidewalk and the street at the same time.
Yes.
And clearly we have metro, we have the hospital, and we have the major arteries, the major bus line, priority reserve line of a lane of bus. So this is the top priority. And after, for one day or perhaps 2 days, after they go to priority 2, schools are normally with priority 1 or 2, and then we go down. But the sidewalk is always on the same priority of the road in the sector. So, for example, priority 1 for street, well, the sidewalk of this sector is also in priority 1. But this is for snow removal.
So
for snow clearance is all the priority, and each sector, for example, in my borough, there is 9 sectors, and we have several teams with Cartierville that are really dedicated for only the sidewalks. So we have teams for the sidewalks, and we have teams for the street.
So let me just ask, have you seen those tweets from the Paralympian, Alison Levine? Have you seen her tweets or photos of what's in front of her house?
I haven't seen, but I have, for example, in my borough, and I was talking with my chief of public works. We have one problem. We had one problem, and I imagine that in this borough it was the same. That not we, but it was a private entrepreneur. The Caterpillar just break out, and he wasn't able to do the job at the dedicated time, and he did it a few hours later. And this is really what we don't want to occur. And that's why we meet with private, and we meet for employees for having the best services that they can give to population.
What should someone do, by the way, if in front of their home they live in Côte-des-Neiges or they live in Verdun, and their street they've noticed for some reason the sidewalk is a disaster and it didn't get that proper snow clearing? What should they do? How should they? What's the best way to alerting the city so that an employee or a contractor can come and make it right?
The first thing really important is to call 311 and to open a request. It's really important because we need this data to talk after, for example, with the private entrepreneur. So really important to call 311. And after, you can write email to your city councillor, and it's important too because the city councillor, if they have several on the same sector, well, they will talk with the borough to see what is going on this particular sector.
Émilie, Madame la Mairesse, we have to leave it there. I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
That's Émilie Thuillier, who is the mayor of Ahuntsic, Cartierville.